Dear Patriots, before the news starts, please subscribe to our patriotic channel by clicking the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up to this video. Don't forget to leave your opinion below in the comments section. Share the news on Facebook and Twitter so you friends see it. Thank you.
Bombshell, Joe Biden's son secures billion-dollar deal with Chinese government. After Biden heads to China. Former Vice President Joe Biden has always been a complete numbskull. Even Democrats know this to be true. 10 days after taking a trip to China, Biden's son's firm secured a billion-dollar deal with the Chinese government. Sound fishy? Here's a story the mainstream media will never touch, mainly because it involves Barack Obama's vice president, Joe Biden. This is kind of a big deal. From Breitbart. The private equity firm of former Vice President Joe Biden's son Hunter Biden inked a billion-dollar deal with a subsidiary of the Chinese government's Bank of China just 10 days after the father and son flew to China in 2013. The Biden bombshell is one of many revealed in a new investigative book, Secret Empires: How the American Political Class Hides Corruption and Enriches Family and Friends by Government Accountability Institute President and Breitbart News Senior Editor-at-Large Peter Schweizer. Schweizer's last book, Clinton Cash, sparked an FBI investigation into the Clinton Foundation. Fox News contributor Sebastian Gorka calls this issue potentially one of the biggest pay-for-play scandals outside of Uranium One. Is Gorka correct? Well, he's not wrong. Stay tuned for more on this major story. Attorney General Jeff Sessions is considering to fire FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe. Attorney General Jeff Sessions is considering whether to fire FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe, who will become eligible to receive a government pension in a matter of days. Fox News has learned that the FBI's Office of Professional Responsibility recommended to terminate McCabe following several conflict of interest complaints related to a probe of Clinton's use of a private email server. McCabe should neither be fired nor given his retirement. McCabe should be indicted, Judicial Watch Director of Investigations Chris Farrell told Fox Business Lou Dobbs. Judicial Watch says it has obtained records suggesting McCabe was involved with FBI lawyer Lisa Page and agent Peter Strzok, who exchanged anti-Trump text messages. Why in the world are we playing patty cake wondering about whether he should be retired or fired? Let's indict the guy, Farrell said. McCabe, a 22-year veteran of the FBI who is scheduled to officially retire on Sunday, could lose an estimated $2 million government pension. Meanwhile, Republican Representative Trey Gowdy of South Carolina is said to be breaking from his fellow GOP House Intelligence Committee members, claiming Russia was motivated by a desire to specifically hurt Hillary Clinton's presidential candidacy. Gowdy said in a statement that it was clear, based on the evidence, Russia had disdain for Secretary Clinton and was motivated in whole or in part by a desire to harm her candidacy or undermine her presidency had she prevailed. Unfortunately, Mr. Gowdy seems to never miss an opportunity to miss an opportunity, Farrell said on Fox Business Lou Dobbs tonight. What should have been a roasting, turned out to be her coronation. The House Intelligence Committee, led by Chairman Representative Devin Nunes, Republican California, concluded on Monday that no evidence was discovered suggesting the Kremlin coordinated with President Donald Trump's 2016 campaign to meddle in the election. Fox News bombshell: Trump preparing major White House bloodbath purge. President Trump isn't playing around. After firing sex state Rex Tillerson, rumor has it many more top officials will soon be gone. Fox News is calling the potential upcoming purge a bloodbath. Here's the scoop. From Vanity Fair. And 3 sources told me that the next official likely to go is National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster, who, like Tillerson, had advocated for remaining in the deal. Last Tuesday, Trump met with ultra-hawkish former UN Ambassador John Bolton in the Oval Office to discuss a potential job offer. Bolton has for years argued that the United States should preemptively attack Tehran. According to a person who spoke with Bolton after the meeting, Bolton recalled that Trump said he wanted him to join the administration. "We need you in here, John." Bolton responded that there were only two jobs he'd consider: Secretary of State and National Security Advisor. Trump said, "OK, I'll call you really soon." Sources added that Trump spent much of the time with Bolton fuming that McMaster was speaking privately with Barack Obama's former National Security Advisor Susan Rice. Trump kept saying, "Can you believe it?" to Susan Rice. "Can you believe it?" Perhaps most consequential for Robert Mueller's investigation, sources said Trump has discussed a plan to fire Attorney General Jeff Sessions. According to two Republicans in regular contact with the White House, there have been talks that Trump could replace Sessions with EPA Administrator Scott Pruitt, who would not be recused from overseeing the Russia probe. Also, because Pruitt is already a cabinet secretary, he would not have to go through another Senate confirmation hearing. More on the bloodbath from Fox News. The potential changes, described by sources as a bloodbath, include a departure of National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster and his replacement by John Bolton, a former U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. Other departures from the administration would include Department of Veterans Affairs Secretary David Shulkin and Chief of Staff John Kelly. The sources have cautioned that Trump will make the ultimate decision about all staff changes. However, the departure of McMaster has been described by multiple sources as imminent. Kelly would be replaced as Chief of Staff by Office of Management and Budget Director Mick Mulvaney, the sources said, with Energy Secretary Rick Perry replacing Shulkin at the Virginia. Ray Washburn, the chairman of the Overseas Private Investment Corporation, would replace Perry as Energy Secretary. H.T., Gateway Pundit. Stormy Daniels' attorney says she has been threatened with physical harm. The attorney for an adult film actress who claimed to have had an affair with President Donald Trump said Friday that his client has been threatened with physical harm and suggested that she had only signed a non-disclosure agreement related to the relationship because of threats against her. Asked on Friday by MSNBC Morning Joe host Mika Brzezinski if his client, Stormy Daniels, had been on the receiving end of threats, attorney Michael Avenatti replied that she had. Asked if she had been threatened with physical harm, Avenatti said yes. He did not say when Daniels received the threats. The attorney offered no other details about the threats against Daniels, whose real name is Stephanie Clifford. He declined to say who leveled the threat against Daniels and would not say whether or not the threat had come from the president himself. Avenatti also declined to say if the threat had come from someone party to or otherwise related to the non-disclosure agreement that Daniels has filed suit to break. Avenatti did say that an upcoming interview with Daniels on CBS's 60 Minutes would include further revelations about Daniels' alleged affair with Trump. The interview is scheduled to air March 25. Avenatti said he was not aware of specific efforts to block CBS from airing the interview, but we've certainly heard through the grapevine and through others that it's been contemplated. I think that when people tune into this interview, they're going to learn the details, the circumstances under which she signed the original agreement, as well as what happened thereafter relating to the threats and coercive tactics that were used to shut my client up, Avenatti said in a separate interview later Friday morning on CNN's New Day that followed his MSNBC appearance. Avenatti also suggested in his interview with CNN anchor Chris Cuomo that Daniels had signed the non-disclosure agreement under threat, although he once again did not elaborate further. That's one thing, she says, I'm going to speak unless we can figure out a deal. Fine, legal, as long as it wasn't being coercive, Cuomo posed to Avenatti. If it was, well, I have to do this because I'm afraid if I don't do it, something will happen to me because that has been articulated. That's something else. Which was it? Something else, Avenatti replied, suggesting that Cuomo's second scenario was the correct one. Trump's longtime personal attorney, Michael Cohen, did not immediately respond to an email asking for comment. Allegations of an affair between Daniels and the president surfaced earlier this year in a Wall Street Journal report that detailed a $130,000 payment, part of a non-disclosure agreement, in the final weeks of the 2016 presidential election from Cohen, to Daniels. Cohen has said that the money for the payment came from his own personal funds and that Trump did not approve the payment and was not aware of it. The White House has denied that Trump had an affair with Daniels and Daniels herself, in the immediate aftermath of the Journal's story, denying the affair as well. But Daniels had already detailed her affair with Trump, which began in 2006, in a 2011 interview with In Touch magazine, which the magazine published last January. Daniels has since been more coy about her alleged affair with the president, filing a lawsuit to break the non-disclosure agreement, which she claims is void because it was not signed by Trump. She has also embarked on a nationwide tour of strip clubs,